Hey, gentlemen.
Hello, Randy. Hi, Brian. Hi, Mary.
Hi. Good to see you guys.
You're sitting outside
Danny.
today, Isaac.
I am indeed. It's a wonderful day to do so.
Sure is.
So yeah, I will.
Good morning, everyone.
Our front yard there.
Denny.
Cool.
Greetings.
So I shouldn't read into it that your wife kicked you out of the house or anything, Isaac.
No need to read anything into it. I've been in the office for 5 hours already, and I was excited to get out and enjoy some of the weather we're having.
He's gassy.
And is this our speaker I'm looking at?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Oh, Sonia.
Greetings.
Well, Randy, now that our speaker has appeared, now you need to be on your best behavior.
What did I tell you about that? Never for no one, no how.
Randy,
I can hardly wait for our dollar raffle.
Well, Cap, we're all blinded by the dome there.
Look at all this here.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to see all your mugs.
Did you have a good turnout last week? I wasn't able to help.
Yeah, I think there were 15 or 16 people, Denny, something like that.
Excellent.
It was pretty good.
Good. And
Yeah,
Dr.
this is
McGinnis?
No, I'm joining via phone.
Dr. McGinnis was there?
Yes, he was.
Great.
Yeah, he did a good job, Denny. Kind of talked us through things. So.
He was my family physician for years.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was a good speaker.
Yeah.
Tom,
is that you on the phone?
It is. I'm on via phone here. I still can't get in through Zoom through work. For whatever reason, they're restricting it.
Could
That
be your
makes sense.
face.
That could be.
Sonia.
Yeah. Although I don't mind not having my mug all over the place. Via phone's fine with me. Then I don't have to take as much heat from Isaac and others.
Everything going okay, Tom, at the hospital?
Yeah, things are well. Yesterday was just a gut-wrenching day. We went through all of our furlough process with our staff, and you get sick to your stomach just having those conversations. But a large percentage of our staff are going to be on furloughs effective Sunday, plus low need, and there's other ways that we're looking at that too with FTE reductions and other things. But it's a necessary measure we have to take right now, as difficult as it is. So for the most part, everybody's been very understanding, but it still doesn't make it any easier.
When they're furloughed, can they apply for unemployment?
Yeah, that's why we're doing that. They're eligible for unemployment and they get full benefits.
Great.
And then when they come back, there's just a couple of conditions for them to come back. But so they're still employed. They get unemployment. They get benefits. Better than we're not doing any layoffs, by the way. Layoffs are a whole different deal. We're not doing those.
Good.
what kind of time frame are you guys thinking at this point, Tom, or is it still too uncertain?
Yeah, I've got a couple of time frames in my mind, but I've been very careful. We're just saying at this point we just don't know. It's anyone's guess right now, but I'm optimistic. We're looking at 4 to 6, maybe 8 weeks, but you know, I just don't know. I've been careful not to say anything specific.
Right.
All right.
I'm gonna hold off here for a couple more minutes, see if some additional people join us. So.
By the way, we still have 0 confirmed cases here at the hospital.
Good. Great news.
But Pierce
Yeah.
County is up to 12 now.
Yeah,
Pierce
St. Croix is
County
at 12 as well, with 3 in the Hudson area and 0 deaths.
Okay.
Pierce has 7 or 8, and Polk had 4.
Welcome, Chuck.
Hi. Quiet.
Anybody have any good stories that aren't going to make happy bucks?
My wife is home.
Well, great.
She was babysitting our grandchildren in Hawaii for 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
But our daughter-in-law was deployed to Thailand for 2.5 months. And she came home, she got home to Hawaii on Friday morning. And my wife was able to get a flight out Friday night. So I picked her up at noon Saturday.
Why didn't she stay there?
Well, you know, it's good to have her home, and you have to kind of go for an opportunity when you can. But she's doing her 2-week quarantine, so whatever. The guest room comes in handy that way, and I'm still making the meals and whatever. But Ramsey and I are, we've been kind of working it out the last couple months anyway, and we're doing fine. So,
Cool.
Hey, Sarah.
and Stacy and
Joni. Hi, Joni.
Ross too.
Ross.
Hello.
Hey, greetings.
Looks like Ross is checking in from work today.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to get this place right back up and running.
Yeah. Any idea when we'll do some takeout?
Yeah,
Right, I'm thinking next Thursday, hopefully I can get it all back together.
yeah, get going on those pies. We need some more pies.
Eyes.
I'll take a farmer's omelet.
All right, next Thursday.
All right.
Good.
That'll be good.
Well, all right, guys, let's, it's 5 after, so let's go ahead and kick this off. Welcome everybody to today's meeting of the Hudson Rotary Club. Thanks for coming. We'll start off with an invocation by Tom.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. So I found this invocation online. It's kind of brief, but I thought it was appropriate for the times. I'll start off by saying, may those assembled here today enjoy the many offerings of Rotary. May we abide by the rules we have established, those of trust, fellowship, and ethics, and may we place service above self in our daily endeavors. May we always test ourselves and our efforts to be sure they are the truth, good for all concerned, of benefit to mankind, and provide peace and understanding. Amen.
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 To the flag, the United States of America.
Okay. And as Rotarians, in the things that we think, say, and do, is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And Randy, I will kick the meeting to you, sir.
Quit it, Isaac.
Just
Happy dollars. Welcome, everybody.
I did mute everybody except for Brian, Randy, and myself until such time when you need to speak.
And stop eating in front of the camera. It's not good looking. Happy dollars. Welcome, everybody, to Noon Rotary. Anybody happy?
All right. We couldn't get frozen bread dough, but they had sweet roll dough available, frozen. So we made caramel apple sweet rolls.
Oh, nice.
It was kind of a mess, but you could still eat it.
Is that true, Brian?
Yeah, well, the problem is I'm pretty sure I'm going to gain about 10 pounds before this is over. So can't work out, and she's baking.
And I was trying to make the apple stuff on the stove so to be cooked first. I didn't have a recipe. And so I spread it on the dough and I start to roll it up and I'm like, Brian, get out here, help me. And it's squishing out everywhere. I had too much on it, but we ate it anyway.
Nice. Yeah, the camera's not very nice to me and Isaac.
No.
You know how they say they add, yeah, right here. Joni should have a happy buck.
I do. I met my second neighbor today. I went for a walk and a gal came out to the end of her driveway. She was going to get her garbage can and I got to have a conversation. Second neighbor now in just over 6 months.
Wow.
In its finest, I guess, huh?
Pretty good.
Very nice. Any other happy box?
I'm happy to
Yeah.
see Sarah here. Sarah, hi. Haven't
Hi,
seen you in a
Sarah.
while.
I guess I owe, because I already said my happy buck.
Okay.
You'll put it on my bill, right, Rand?
Well, I don't do the billing. That's Joni's
Oh,
job.
okay, Joni. Okay.
You don't want me to bill.
Okay.
It'll be twice as
At the
much.
end of this, everybody's going to pitch in.
Yes.
There you go.
Sonia or Sonia?
Oh,
Sonia.
good Lord.
Well, we got our
I'm gonna
speaker here
cover you
too.
up on my screen. Yeah.
Which
Thanks,
one,
Sarah.
You actually have
I'm
two.
glad Sarah's here too. But I did have a happy thing was that Sarah saved the last wool ball multicolored trivet for me, and I picked it up last night at the office because she delivered it to my office in Hudson. So thank you.
Sweet. Sweet.
Great.
Yep.
Just real quick, I see that some things never change. Randy can't say Sonia correctly.
I was doing good.
And still modeling goodwill and better friendships. So anyways, I miss you guys. I just wanted to say a quick hi. Sonia invited me. So love to each of you. Stay healthy. And I can't wait to see you guys all out on the street. But I'm going to sign off because I have realized I have a new skill set. I am excelling. No, I'm not excelling, but I'm figuring out how to be a virtual shopper. So things I never thought I would have to do. So my next appointment starts in 5 minutes, but gosh, I miss you guys. And thanks for being good people in our community because, man, I really like you guys.
Great to see you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah.
We love you too.
Yeah.
Take
Best
care,
of
Sarah.
wishes.
You too.
Okay, any other happy box? No?
This is Stacy. Can I talk for a second?
Wow.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Stacy.
All right.
Welcome,
The
Stacy.
NFL draft is this week, as you all probably know. My oldest son, Alex, has been trying to work his way into the NFL.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure he's not going to make the actual draft, but we'll know either way, one way or the other, at the end of the week if he makes it into the following the draft as just goes on for their practice squads. So he has about 6 teams that have shown interest in him. So very exciting. If you all could keep him in your thoughts and prayers, it would be very appreciated.
Wow.
All the best to Alex, Stace. He's a fine young man.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah. Excellent.
He'll
Thank
do
you.
well.
Can you list the teams or you don't want to say?
I can. Yeah, the Seahawks,
Go,
the
Pack, go.
Lions, the Seahawks, Lions, the Packers, the Jets, the Patriots, and the Vikings.
No, don't let him go to the Vikings.
Well, he'd be close to home, and I'd have a fan with Sean.
Yeah.
The noon Rotary gets box seats, right?
Fingers crossed.
Julie is the right address now?
Alex will do fine.
Yes.
Correct the address?
Any other happy box? Any announcements? No. Okay.
Kelly
Isaac,
must
the
have
Rotary.
a happy buck.
What?
Kelly must have a happy buck, I would think.
Who?
Well, I'm always happy. I don't have a buck, but I'm always happy.
Okay. That's good. Oh, there's flowers.
Denny
I
will
got
pay
flowers.
for. Denny, you owe $1 for Shelley.
Okay. Can do.
All right, so we'll go right to the Rotary minute with Isaac and then go ahead and introduce our guest speaker, Isaac.
All right, we do. Randy, I realized that in all our meetings here during the month of April that you neglected a birthday, and it's kind of an important one. Our club turned 69 in
Wow.
April 6th. And so through those years, Hudson Rotary has benefited the community through social activities like the Main Street Coloring Contest for the kids, the Halloween Parade, through beautification efforts like the park benches throughout town, the Main Street Clock, the flower and tree planting projects that we've done, service projects by partnering with local organizations. We have Merry Meals, the St. Croix River Dunk, and most recently, the Hudson Community Coronavirus Effort. We've sponsored exchange students and hosting Rotary scholars and Rotary dignitaries. And we've awarded grants to local high school students, local nonprofits, and international projects. So happy 69th birthday to the Hudson Rotary Club. And thank you to all of you for being part of the club's story.
Terrific. Yeah.
And with that, I will introduce our guest speaker, Sonia Pearson. Sonia, I do apologize that you've had to experience some of our banter, but virtually it is really no different than it is in person. So the environment is very much the same. Sonia has been a resident of Hudson for the past 10 years. She graduated with her Bachelor of Arts in Exercise Science from Concordia University in St. Paul in December of 2016. After graduation, she worked with Tailor Made Nutrition, a grocery in Woodbury that provides gluten-free, allergy-friendly foods and supplements. After growing in this position, she decided to pursue applying her skills in a global context and focusing on community public health. Her desire to gain international experience inspired her to apply for the Peace Corps. Her Peace Corps service ignited her passion for public health and expanded her interest to include global health. She served as a community health promoter in a large rural village in northern Mozambique from June 2018 to March 2020. Throughout her service, she collaborated with community health workers focusing on HIV prevention, care, and treatment, as well as focusing a large part on working with youth to improve their health. She is currently pursuing her Master's of Public Health through George Washington University. After she graduates with her Master's of Public Health, she intends to dedicate her life to the field of public health and use her technical knowledge and skills to work in international development, implementing public health projects with a focus on vulnerable populations. So here to share more about the Masks and Soap for Mozambique project is Sonia Pearson.
Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to come on here and chat with you all. I really appreciate the time to do this. It's a cause and for a community that means so much to me. So again, I really appreciate it. As I said, as Isaac said, I was a community health promoter volunteer in a city called Kwamba in the Niassa province. So it's the northwestern part of Mozambique. And there I was serving as a community health promoter where I worked with the local health center, and I was also paired with an local organization in the community who focused their efforts on making life a little bit easier for those living with HIV. HIV and AIDS is one of the largest epidemics in Mozambique, and along with malaria, those are the two biggest public health issues. And as you all know, we're all here in this I think it was the second week in March, we received a letter from the Peace Corps director telling us that we would have to evacuate our sites. And it would be a global evacuation. So all 7,300 volunteers were to be evacuated back to the United States. And this was obviously very devastating because of my connection with my community. And I wasn't supposed to leave until August. So cutting my service short was very hard, and trying to prepare emotionally for that was very, very difficult. And coming back home, I really wanted to be able to do something with my community and help, because they had been so grateful and appreciative of the help that I gave and throughout my service there in Kwamba. So I had connected with one of my fellow volunteers, who was serving in a province that was just to the south of me, called Zambezia. Mozambique has a total of 9 provinces, and Zambezia is located right below Niassa, where I was. And she was also a community health promoter volunteer in her community, and had come to Mozambique just about a year after I did. So she still had a year left in her service. And along with everyone getting evacuated, she created this project to create masks and distribute soap to families and beneficiaries of an organization in her community. And after getting in touch with her, I really felt inspired and motivated to want to be able to stay connected with my community and implement the same type of project where I was in Kwamba. And so in Portuguese, the project is Vamos Proteger Mozambique contra COVID-19, which is Let's Protect Mozambique against coronavirus. And the reason why this cause is so important to me to help my community is that the health centers in Mozambique are very, very crowded and depend a lot on US support in order to keep running efficiently. And with my experience there, working directly with the health center and hospitals and seeing the situation there, it really gave me a lot of, again, like I said, motivation to want to help the way that the health centers were being kind of run in Mozambique. And because of the situation there, I decided to create a project to make masks and distribute information about COVID, about the prevention measures, along with hand washing. As you know, here in the States, hospitals and clinics are very crazy right now with the epidemic, but over in Mozambique specifically, along with many other countries in Africa, the healthcare system is not, they don't have the same resources and things that we do here in the States. And so I decided to work with Hankoni, which is an organization that I was paired with, and they work directly with community members, supporting nutritionally and providing other types of support for those living with HIV. And my counterpart that I'm working with, he is a monitoring evaluation official for a project that they're implementing currently, which works with strengthening the health system there in Mozambique. And my current goal is to distribute these masks and also put the educational information in markets in more high visible areas, such as like the train station where masses of people are walking around every day, along with distributing soap and with giving communications about proper hand washing, as we here take very advantage of knowing proper hand washing with soap and water, and there many people don't have that necessary education or necessary knowledge of how to properly hand wash when you're coughing, to cough in your elbow, and touching your face, especially during this time right now. And so I wanted to bring this project I had messaged Isaac after, like I said, I've grown up in Hudson. I went to River Falls. I live on the other side of the border, so I went to River Falls, and I've really appreciated the community that Hudson, that I've been able to be in Hudson, and the support that I've seen that Rotary has given. And after I've seen the international giving of Rotary through looking at different projects on the website, it gave me a lot of inspiration, and wanted to just also bring awareness to the project. And I also saw that you guys were in Ghana, which was really exciting. And I really think that your efforts internationally is really important. And I know that, we're all going through this pandemic right now, even in the US, and it's really difficult, but I think it's really important. And when we focus on other people, it can really extend that like gratitude, and I really wanted to extend that gratitude to them for the appreciation that they had for me there working. And yeah, just really think focus on global efforts is so huge in terms of public health, because when we bring awareness and education to different populations, we can really work to, we're never going to eliminate problems with public health, but we can work to diminish and bring awareness and knowledge to those people to hopefully slow the epidemic of specifically Mozambique, HIV and AIDS, and malaria, which are the two biggest. And yeah, when I was there, I had a really big interest in working with youth and helping them to focus on preventing and knowing about the transmission of HIV and AIDS. Because like, again, I said, something that we take a huge advantage of here in the United States is the fact of education, and they don't have that same knowledge. And so with this project, this is my hope in order to bring not only prevention measures of wearing masks, but also the awareness and knowledge of how to prevent the epidemic that we're going through. And I can open it up for some questions or anything that you guys.
Sonia, yeah. Sonia, could you just give us a little bit of, I guess, kind of a flavor for the country of Mozambique itself in terms of, what's its economy based on, what's village life like, what's city life like? Just a little flavor for that.
Yeah, so I lived in, so the population of Mozambique currently is around 26 million people. And so I lived in Kwamba, which is in the district of Kwamba. So they're also in the district of Kwamba, we have the district hospital, and that's one of the main hospitals. And so I lived close to the city. And Nyasa province is one of, like I said, it's in the northwestern part, so it's very vast, and there's population is spread out very far. So people don't live really close together compared to some other different provinces. And living in the city, I was able to have the ability to, in Kwamba there's banks, we had a few different stores, in the Indian and Chinese stores, which are two different groups that are there for work. And so we had 2 or 3 different Indian stores along with 2 Chinese stores, which provided things like supplies like cups and, different things like backpacks and like soccer balls and items to purchase. So I was fortunate to live in a bigger, I call it a bigger village. It's a city, but it's not like a city that we would think about here in the States. And where I lived in the city, there's a population of about 80,000 people. So it's a very large area. And where I was, there was no running water. We had electricity, and most places have electricity. But I did not have running water. I took my bike. There was 2 paved roads in the city that I lived in. And so the roads were very bumpy and very crazy. There was mostly motorcycles that people get around. And economically, in Kwamba specifically, the biggest sources for depend on economy is tobacco and cotton. So those are the 2 biggest, those are like the 2 hubs there in Kwamba are tobacco and cotton. And many people throughout Mozambique have mashambas, which are like farms. And many times they're very far away. They can be 40 to 6 an hour walk away for people to get to, but they usually grow beans, corn, lettuce, tomatoes, beans, lots of different things. And I was very lucky that where I was in Kwamba, there's 3 markets. So I was able to have that advantage of being able to go to different markets in order to get food. And Kwamba has a very large variety of food, including eggplant, cucumbers, garlic, onion is very popular there. Was able to get squash, pumpkin. Yeah, so it was very nice. And Kwamba it's a very large city, and it's also considered a transport corridor because there's 5 different ways to get in and out of Kwamba for transporting goods and services. So where I was, it was a linkage to Nampula, which is in the next province, and that's a very, very large city. And then it also was, there's a road or the train that goes to Lashinga, which is the provincial capital of Niassa. So you have trains going both ways as well as roads. And then one road going down to Garuwe, which is in Zambezia, which is the province to the south of Niassa. And there the economy is really based on, they have the tea fields there, which are absolutely beautiful. And so that's economically for them, that's one of the biggest things. So there's lots of different transport in and out of Kwamba, and which also unfortunately contributes to the very large prevalence of HIV in the area because of business and people leaving and going for business.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you said you've got a project for masks. How, have you got people working on it, or how does that work?
Yeah, so like I said, I got in contact with one of my friends who created the project and really worked with her in kind of creating the outline and, you know, what to work with. And then I got in contact with the organization and also with one of the medical doctors in Kwamba to speak with them about what the biggest needs are and talk with them about the project. And so my goal right now in talking with, his name is Abdul, and he's my counterpart for this project. And we set a goal together of making 5,000 masks and distributing 2,500 bars of soap to families, along with educating them on proper measures of hand washing. And we decided after talking with a few other people that are in Mozambique, which I made friends with, we decided to make the masks, instead of just one layer, we decided to do 2 layers due to the efficacy of preventing the virus from entering masks because one layer wouldn't be enough, so we decided to go with 2. And so after that, I networked with family and friends and decided to make a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for this. And with the GoFundMe campaign, in terms of our goal, we've raised $1,200 for the campaign so far, and the goal is approximately $3,300, and that's to make 5,000 masks and distribute the information and print posters into the markets and train stations and things where there's a very high visibility of people walking through in the city itself.
So what's the GoFundMe page if we want to contribute?
Yeah, I will definitely drop a link, and I will also give you the project proposal. I can send that to Isaac if that's okay with you, so you guys can see a little bit more, you know, have a little bit more details and different things of looking at the nooks and crannies of the project. And the masks will primarily benefit beneficiaries of Hankoni, which are families that they worked with who are living with HIV, and orphans in the community, that whether they have parents that have passed away from HIV or are living with caregivers. And so those are the primary, because they are most at risk due to they are already what's the right word I'm looking for? Immunodepressed, yes. And then healthcare workers along with marketplace vendors, because as you can see, we are pretty easily social distancing, but in cultures in Mozambique, many cultures in different countries in Africa, they do everything together and they go out to their markets every single day. They're out in public. So another thing is we wanted to be able to give the masks to vendors to provide that barrier when there's traffic coming in and out.
Sonia, Isaac here. So Mary, you stole my thunder. I was going to ask Sonia to send me the link for the GoFundMe page. But my question for you, Sonia, is the sanitation techniques. You know, here in the United States, we have hand sanitizer. We have basically so many resources available to us for being able to sanitize everything in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's available in Mozambique natively that does not require items shipped into the country.
Yeah. So right now, so traditionally they can use, so when they have carvon, which is coal, that's the primary way that they cook their food, rice, beans, whatever it might be. And so actually the ash that comes from off the carvon when they're cooking, and once it cools down, that is actually a very good way to sanitize. It sounds kind of funny and interesting, but it's a very good way to sanitize. And it's like you said, it's local. It's something that they use every day to cook, and so it's readily available to them. And one thing with prevention of illnesses and diseases is they typically just use water to wash their hands, or they're very good about washing their hands before they eat. But with after going to the bathroom, and the thing about soap is just something that they just usually wash their hands with water. So that's something that we wanted to be able to post prevention and hand washing measures to educate people about the proper ways to doing that.
Any other questions for Sonia today? And Richard Lau, welcome, sir. Good to see you. Any other questions?
Hello, all. Good to see you. It's good to see everyone.
Otherwise, Sonia, thank you very much for your the information you shared with us today. Sounds like an excellent project, big challenge.
Yes. Thank you so much for the opportunity again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you intend to go back at some point if they allow you, or?
Yeah. So as of right now, because of, things are very uncertain and unknown. So I was currently a year and a half into my service. So fortunately, I was able to, finish most of my service. But due to the virus, the director is saying that until after September, they're not sending people out till then. And unfortunately, Mozambique is also facing some other issues with the partnership with Peace Corps and between the Peace Corps and the government with visas. And there's also been a lot more prevalence of terrorism in the country, which is also just another thing that's been in my heart, because it's very close to where I was serving. And so just a lot of things that are impacting the country right now, unfortunately. But generally for most countries, it's going to depend, on the conditions in each, different country. Yeah.
All right, unless someone else has something for the good of Rotary, I will. Yes, Joel, sir.
I saw Sean raise his hand.
Sean.
Sean's still muted.
Sean is unmuted. You should be able to speak now.
Can't hear him.
He's got his own mute on, I bet.
All right, Sean, why don't you throw your question into chat if you can?
He was, Sean was just clapping. He wasn't raising his hand, right, Sean?
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks everyone for coming this week, and we'll be back same time, same place next week. Everybody be safe. Randy, did you?
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
Be safe, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Nancy Harper isn't the one you wanted, right?